What's going on, guys? It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. This is the Fantasy Heat Check with my boy Cody.
And like Cam Newton, we're back.
We're back.
Oh, man. How good was it to see Cam play?
Oh, my God. That was electric, man. Like, when he scored the first one, it was just like, whoo, yes. That's what we needed to see. The stiff arm, him making a Russian play. CMC was absolutely ecstatic, so I knew he was happy as hell to have Cam back, so shout out to Cam and his return back to Carolina.
Oh, yeah, dude. And like the best part, one of my favorite sound bites of the entire year was in an interview after the game, like, how much of the playbook did you know? And he's like, about two touchdowns worth. I was like, I love that. I love that. That is swagger. And God, bro, he is the drippiest dude in the NFL. And I am so jealous.
Yeah, I'm really happy he's back, though. Like, it's good to see him happy. I could tell, like, in New England, he's strictly business, not much fun. But he's home. I mean, honestly, he should never left.
Yeah, I don't think that was his choice, though. You know what I mean?
Nah, he was injured. So it's kind of like, yeah, we draw the line here. Because they were probably thinking about different direction. But money, behind the scenes, we don't know.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. And, like, I think it was kind of time for both parties to head on their own way, and now they're back. So
yeah.
Oh man. So we have speaking of guys who are back, we have several injured players who appear to be back this week, several guys who are out. Let's go ahead and get the big one out of the way. Or I didn't think that I would talk about a Cordero Patterson injury in a big way in fantasy this year, but yeah, so let's get the big one out of the way, at least for the Thursday night slate, and that is that Cordero Patterson has been ruled out for tonight's game, so make sure you get him out of your lineups.
That's rough.
Yeah, an absolute weapon for Atlanta.
We're down to Kyle Pitts, who's probably going to be taken out. He's basically going to be.
That's what Belichick's going to do. All right, we're going to bracket Pitts and make Matt Ryan beat us over the top with Russell Gage and Olamide Zacharias or whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Gage has some type of good game. Being that Pitts is probably going to be getting schemed out, I feel as though he has the biggest upside out of the other wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm having J.C. Jackson guard Pitts. Unless Pitts is in line, if Pitts is in line as a tight end, but if he's out wide, I'm having J.C. Jackson on Pitts. He's our best weapon. But let's keep it moving with the injuries. I don't think there's anybody else in the Damian Harris is back. So he is past concussion protocol. He will be back tonight. Do you feel comfortable starting him knowing how good Ramondre Stevenson has been the last 2 weeks?
I'm not comfortable starting him being that, Stevenson kind of popped off last week. He's seen to be durable. He seems to be the guy that can get the job done on the ground. He put up 100 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. So I am a little worried, starting Harris coming back from that concussion. And I think he might be eased in, not full send. I'm not too sure, but we shall see.
I'm going to be honest. I don't mind either of these guys as a flex play, considering, there are several teams on a bye this week. Like, odds are you probably don't have Saquon. Like, Elijah Mitchell's in a non-contact jersey, which we'll talk about. But, like, there are several guys that, like, you may or may not be missing on your roster. Aaron Jones is out. So, I don't honestly hate Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson. I think both guys could end up with a stat line that looks like 15 for 65 and a touchdown against a Falcons defense that has been top 10 in rushing yards to opposing running backs. So
they could easily coexist. Yeah, they easily can coexist. But I'm leaning, if I was to lean more so, if I'm looking at both of these guys and I have to put in one spot, I'm leaning Stevenson 100%.
All right. So if you had to back against the wall, you're picking Stevenson over scores more points than Harris. All right.
Yes.
Fair. I think I'm behind you on that one.
We agree in the first half of the show.
Bro, Ramondre Stevenson, like, the dude was a stud at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I hope he gets some run. He deserves it. But
absolutely. He definitely deserves it. I mean, the preseason where we saw him as the preseason leader, definitely something that we couldn't ignore. It was just a matter of time before, he gets the full send rock. So unfortunately it came at Harris, fault of being injured and Stevenson stepping in. But I can honestly see this being something, consistent.
Bro, who knows? This might be a JJ. What's his JJ Taylor game? Who knows? Who knows? It's a Patriots running backs, you know how that goes.
Yeah, that is
Speaking
true.
of running backs, that breaks my heart to report on. Aaron Jones, MCL sprain,
Oof.
1 to 2 weeks was the prognosis. Definitely
Yeah.
out for this week. As the Packers take on the Vikings. We're full
That's good
sending
news,
AJ
though.
Dillon, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely full sending. It's good news though, with only 1 to 2 weeks out, because man, we need some Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of injuries, man. A lot of injuries.
Yeah, it's like best case scenario, right? Like he's out
Yeah.
1 to 2 weeks. Like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Jones, I mean, he's been solid all year. Not exceptional.
Yeah.
But
But he's like the
been
last of the
good
few.
for
Like,
us.
who else is going to be left? Aaron Jones goes out. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
it's just Jonathan Taylor on top, man.
Jonathan Taylor
JT
101 next week.
JT
Jonathan Taylor
RB1.
and
Shout
Zeke.
out my man Spence. So we got the Aaron Jones is out. We got to talk about the Cardinals.
Yep. Man, the thing is about Kyler, what's weird is he's practicing now, 3 practices in a row he's been practicing, which is great. The thing is, though, how mobile is he going to be coming back from this ankle injury? Like, how much of in the pocket he's going to be? So it's going to be a little weird to see how they run this. I feel as though the division game, it's a different vibe. It's a different, arena, basically. And I feel as though going against the Seahawks, it's like it's not an easy defense, going against them, coming back from injury. So I think this might be a James Conner game where they kind of lean on the run for him to be, extending plays, et cetera, check downs. But D-Hop, man, he's hurting a lot of fantasy managers out there. I'm included in one of them.
Same.
With this hamstring injury, he did not practice today, which is still leading, trending down that he's possibly not going to play this week. So you got to look for other options. There's other guys out there.
Yeah, I am. The good news about D-Hop is hopefully we get a little bit more clarity before the games start. But if you are in a situation like I'm not waiting for the 4:25 kickoff. Like I will make a decision before that 1:00 game.
Yeah.
If I don't hear that he is for sure in, I will take him out, because the last thing that I want to see is I'm sitting at 3:00 and I didn't start, insert wide receiver here, and then I get the text that D-Hop isn't playing and I got to start either Christian Kirk or Rondale Moore or Dwayne Eskridge. Like, what are we doing? Jesus. So, or even one of those Giants wide receivers.
Ew.
I saw Kenny Golladay on my on a waiver wire in one of my really competitive leagues, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting, and kept scrolling. I have no interest.
Oh,
no
wow.
interest.
Nice to see you here. Goodbye.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, right.
Keep going.
Really useless.
Yeah. But speaking of guys who have blown up in fantasy this year, Elijah Mitchell, he's in a non-contact jersey for practice today. So I don't love his chances to play on Sunday.
It's 50-50. I would definitely monitor that early Sunday morning. Like, I'm talking like 6:30 a.m. type ordeal where you probably get some news about him. If he's going to play, I'm going to play him.
Yes, correct.
I feel like
it's a finger. It's not like it's a leg or a foot or
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's a finger. Like tape the football to his hand. What are we doing?
Yeah.
If he's playing, I have no problem starting him.
Yeah. So I think you have to play him. Like you said, it's a finger, man. They probably tape his finger up and full send it. So the non-contact is probably just wanting to be safe. Like, oh, hey, let's not try to like get any setbacks during practice.
All right, let's get frisky with it.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't play, are you starting Jeff Wilson Jr.?
I have to, man.
Bro, you're willing to start Jeff Wilson?
Yeah, you have to. It's like you have to start whoever the next man's up. It's not like we're talking about Trey Sermon, who struggled in the starting role. So
that's true.
I feel like Jeff Wilson, he came in with some momentum
for one every year too.
Yeah,
right? Like one game every year. You're like, oh, this is the Jeff Wilson Jr. game.
So like before he got injured, which is weird how he got injured. It was like I think he was like trying to sit down or something. I don't know.
Hey, weird ass injury. I have been there.
But he's been in, he was going like in the late 6th, 7th round in a lot of leagues. So like I feel as though that's pretty high for a guy that's in a rotating backfield. So he looked to be like the guy because we already knew Mostert was going to get hurt. It was kind of like promised. Like,
Yeah.
Mostert will be injured this season. It's like, I think it's every season. So
I know.
So people were just sitting there handcuffing him, and they had high hopes for him. So if Mitchell doesn't play, you have to full send Jeff Wilson.
Yes, sir. Are there any other week 10 takeaways that we want to talk about from a fantasy perspective? I feel like week 10 was kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, nothing crazy happened.
It was a little boring, but we have to talk about my Rams. Like, you see, I'm getting frustrated now. I almost threw my mic.
Bro, he's flustered. Flustered.
But I feel as though quickly we could talk about them. Odell Beckham, not that big of an impact, but we knew, just signed 3 days.
Limited snaps.
Exactly. Yeah. So we knew that going into the game. Obviously, chemistry issues there with him and Stafford early going on that deep bomb for the interception. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So moving forward, I feel as though with this bye, it's going to help, with timing, chemistry,
100%.
etc. I feel as though we'll get a different Odell Beckham coming out of the bye. I think we will get a different Rams coming out of the bye. I feel as though this bye was much needed because we dealt with the Robert Woods injury. We're dealing with Stafford, his struggles in that Titans game. They need to hit the reset button, and adjust to Robert Woods being out.
Yeah, honestly, the bye could not come at a more perfect time for the Rams. But there's nothing. Okay. Thank you. He appreciates the Christmas tree that I definitely hung up. I mean, obviously, I'm the one who hung that up. Absolutely not my wife. Who would I be targeting as a long-term keeper? I think the most obvious, and from Dynasty, you already know how high his value is. I guess keeper leagues are a little different, but Jonathan Williams or Javonte Williams. Sorry. I got Jonathan Taylor mixed up. But in all seriousness, Javonte Williams could have a Jonathan Taylor-like season next year. The reason I'm saying this is the dude's metrics by like yards gained after contact, tackles broken per run. Like he leads the league in broken tackles, and he's nowhere close to the top of the league in carries. It's unbelievable. The dude is incredibly, incredibly talented. And just like Melvin Gordon also happens to be a very good NFL running back. And Melvin Gordon will not be on that roster next year. He is.
I'm going to be toxic. I don't know if that's true, man.
Put that on me.
There's no way.
Listen, why would you draft a guy in the second round and then go and re-sign a 28-year-old? How old is Melvin Gordon? He's got to be close to 28.
Listen, hear me out. The NFL is changing. The 1-2 punch is something a lot of teams are falling in love with right now. And I feel as though Denver might be one of those teams.
I mean, I get that. Don't get me wrong. But like Melvin Gordon's 28. He'll be 29 by the time kickoff starts next season. Like, are we going to sit here and how much are you going to have to pay him to keep him back?
You could tag him. You're
going to tag Melvin Gordon?
Who else are you going to tag?
There's so much other issues on that roster. First off, you're going to tag your safety before you tag what the hell's his name? Justin Simmons. You would tag Justin Simmons before you're going to tag Melvin Gordon.
Hear me out. The defense isn't as bad, so that might be untouched. They can go to the draft and get some young guys, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I feel as though this 1-2 punch is working too well. Melvin Gordon's doing just enough to hold him off. Because remember, going into this season, the hype train was growing. It was crazy. You had Teddy Bridgewater comparing him to Alvin Kamara, which is already just like, whoa, stop. Then you have Melvin Gordon speaking on, the roles, and he's saying, I'm going into this camp feeling like I'm the guy. And that's what we're kind of seeing. We're kind of seeing Melvin Gordon doing enough to be the guy, but still splitting with Williams.
I have no hate on Melvin Gordon. I think he's going to make an impact on an NFL roster next year. I think he would look great in a number of uniforms. The Chiefs, I think he would look great there. I think he would look great.
So he's just going to slide through the whole division. Huh?
Honestly, he might. But I'm not a big fan of CEH. I think he would look good in. No. Yeah, this might be toxic. I think he looks good in Philly. I think he looks good in Philly. Miles Sanders ain't it. That might be due to a lack of touches, not a lack of skill.
It's a lack of touches, but at the same time,
he still hasn't impressed. Either
I
way,
wouldn't be mad at that.
Melvin Gordon is making $8 million a year over the last 2 years. All right. Why would you bring him back for that much again? And you think he's going to take a pay cut? Some team is dumb enough to pay him. You know
Listen,
that.
That's the only solid thing that's keeping me from full sending this take is the money. Are you going to pay him?
Bro, he's going to end up on the Texans making like $12 million a year.
Nah, I don't think they'll be signing him. That'll be
Bro, they already have every aging running back.
They just signed David Johnson earlier this year. So it's like, no, that would be such a waste.
Bro, that's so dumb. Which is exactly why the Texans would do it.
I think you keep him though. I think you keep him. We got a question though. Hey guys, Dylan or Saquon full PPR? Vikings haven't allowed 18 plus points to running backs all season. Good point. Good point.
The Vikings are pretty solid against the run. I will give him that. But with a full workload, like I have to believe in AJ Dillon. The other thing is you have to look at who the Vikings have played running back wise. They have played the Bengals and Joe Mixon, who Joe Mixon had a decent day, but not 18 PPR fantasy points. The Cardinals, who were not exceptional running the football. I mean, unless James Conner scored a touchdown, there probably wasn't a running back who got 18 PPR fantasy points.
Yep.
The Seahawks with Chris Carson out, the Browns with Nick Chubb out, the Lions, so Swift, the Panthers with McCaffrey out, the Cowboys and Zeke. So they've played some good running backs. The full workload is what gets me here. And the thing too, I do like the under this game. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored, but the Packers have shown the preference to just slam him into the goal line. Like they love doing that with AJ Dillon. And now they don't have Aaron Jones to compete. Like when you're in the red zone, what are you doing if you're Green Bay? Like you're either going to slam it in with Dillon or you're going to throw it to Devontae Adams or like a short little quick out to Randall Cobb.
Also to play, that card I like to play, which also, you have to factor in. It's a division game. It's a different game. Yeah. It's a different vibe. You play these guys twice a year, every year. So I feel as though we have to throw out previous stats, when it comes to fantasy points per game, the running backs all season, to when it's a division game. Usually things go completely left to where now AJ Dillon's probably promised 18 plus fantasy points this week.
Well, and we're not talking about the other side of the coin here. I'm worried about Saquon still. I'm not willing to throw him into the lineups right away. I'm just not ready to do it.
First 3 weeks that we were, screaming, hollering, and all this other stuff, it was already known fact that he was going to be eased in. With this situation, coming off of that nasty ankle injury where he's been out for a while now, I'm not throwing him back in the lineup until I see life.
The thing too is it doesn't sound like he's desperate, right? Gang Troy.
What up, Troy?
Love Troy. First off, poor you doing a shot every time there's an interception or a fumble in this Thursday night football game. We gonna have to talk about it. Please tell me you're doing tequila because that would be incredibly on brand of you for it to be tequila. Let's go.
I got the cold one in the fridge though.
Bro, you tried the Terramana? The rocks tequila?
No, I haven't. Everybody keeps telling me that, man. It's pretty to buy. My birthday is a month from now. Somebody buy me it.
Bro, send me the Addy. I'll ship it to you. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of like celebrity booze. It's like, okay, you slap somebody's name on it, whatever. Like it's pretty good. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. And I'm not a tequila guy, but you are well aware. Good on you, pal. AJ Dillon and Saquon. That's that.
Ew.
Troy Crown, a man of my own. I see. This is why me and Troy got along so well at the Expo. Which super excited for the Expo next year. Definitely going to be going again.
Oh, please, people that are watching right now, please head to Canton on the 14th and 15th of August in 2022. It is going to be lit.
The amount of information, and it's a good time. You get to meet a ton of people. It is super awesome. Yes, it's a lot of fun. But let's move into the bold predictions for the week, and then we'll hit our the Thursday night game.
Yes, sir.
So, first off, we crushed our bold predictions last week. All right,
don't we?
I said Cowboys, bro.
It's 2 weeks in a row now.
We said. So I think it was you agreed CMC top leads all running backs in scoring. He got 5th. I'm taking that as an absolute win.
I was about to say, please.
Absolute win. And then Cowboys -8 was my lock. They won by 40. Oh, so we're good.
Stomped.
We're good at this
Stomped.
thing. And I'm sticking with the Cowboys for my bold prediction this week.
Nice.
I'm saying Amari Cooper outscores CeeDee Lamb. I think
I'm back.
I think the Chiefs will be so hyper focused, and Amari Cooper's due. He's up like, you know exactly how Amari Cooper's like, 9, 10 points here and there, and then 49-point week. Like, not to say that CeeDee Lamb won't. I mean, the total in this game is what, 56.5. There's going to be points everywhere.
Yeah,
but I think if you're the Chiefs, like, make somebody not named CeeDee Lamb beat you, because he's been beating every other team this year. So.
I like it. It's a little spicy. You know, Amari Cooper is due for a comeback.
Well, this isn't the fantasy like lukewarm check. It's not the name of the show, pal. I'm not going to give out like some boring.
There you go.
Boring ass bold predictions.
Woo. All right, for my bold prediction. I'm going to stick with the trends, man. This ain't crazy bold, but it's a Gaskins week. Gaskins will be a top 10 running back this week.
Okay, top 10?
Top 10. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Jets. He's going to be a top 10 running back this week. He's going to find the end zone. He's going to have a ton of PPR points. This is how toxic he is. He's top 20 running back for a reason. He's going to be top 10 this week because hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Everybody that's watching that haven't been paying attention to that, look at, his game log. It's been hot, cold, hot, cold. It's the most toxic shit ever in life.
It'd be crazy if they figured out that like he's a pretty decent running back and they should use him more. It'd be wild.
Touches this week. I think we'll do that.
Yeah, I think we'll see if that Dolphins and Jets game is. I kind of like the Jets in that one.
I like Carter. If we're going to talk about running backs, I like Carter in that
one. Both running backs should eat. To be honest, tons of checkdowns, tons of PPR opportunities.
Joe Flacco starting.
Yeah, Joe. Which hopefully that means good news for Elijah Moore. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to air it out.
Anything has to be aired out. I know what it does mean. It means that they are going to run some play action bullshit. Joe Flacco's going to throw it up deep and draw a pass interference penalty. Every goddamn that was the Ravens offense for 8 years. God damn it. That was the worst. It's like, hey, Torrey Smith, run as far as you can, and Joe Flacco's going to try to underthrow you so you can get a pass interference. Jesus. As a Bengals fan, that was just excruciating to watch for so long. I do have my one bold bet is I'm going to say best bet is I am taking the under 48.5 points in Cardinals Seahawks. There is no reason that score should be that high. It's a divisional game. Divisional games are always tight.
Yep.
Kyler Murray may or may not play. DeAndre Hopkins probably is not going to play. Chris Carson is not going to play or is not 100% healthy. Russell Westbrook still coming back from an injury. And the under has hit in every single Seahawks game but one this year. Every single Seahawks game but one. Like, why is it 48.5? Why do we think that many points are going to be scored?
I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's a down week for the Cardinals. Like, everything about that screams under.
Yeah, I think you have to just smash the under on that. I honestly don't think you should be playing any games trying to do the over, especially with, D-Hop in question, which I honestly don't think he's playing at all.
Yeah, I would agree. So let's head to the Thursday night football game, and then we'll answer the mailbag for thank you guys for sending in a ton of questions this week. First,
yes, Jesus. Yeah, it would be hell week for some of you.
I know. I know some of these people to start sits. It's like, man, you're in a tough spot, buddy. But Pats Falcons, I like the Falcons to cover the spread at +7. It's moved to +6.5. So I don't know if I like it there. But I did like it at +7. I think it'll be a close game in Atlanta Thursday night. They got to go on the road. But so we've talked about Cordero Patterson being out.
Yeah.
Is there any Falcon that you are willing to start in fantasy this week not named Kyle Pitts?
If I absolutely need a flex, it will be Wayne Gallman. He's still on the waivers. He's still available. He's out there for you. He had 15 carries last week. I don't know why Mike Davis only had 4.
Talk about a wasted draft pick, man. What are we doing? That's tough. LQ, looks like you froze on me. I'm not sure if it's you that froze or me that froze.
It might have been me. My wife.
I think it was you that froze, bro.
Yeah.
It was a good look.
Did you hear anything I said?
No, I didn't. So I was just kind of filibustering because your face looked like you got lost in the sauce there for a minute. And I was like, oh, okay, he's definitely frozen.
At least I'm back. Let me check my Wi-Fi real quick. But yeah, we're good though. So I said Wayne Gallman. He had 15 carries last week versus Mike Davis, who only had 4. So it kind of makes sense, to run with the guy that they're most likely having momentum with. And if I absolutely need to play a guy in my flex, it has to be Wayne Gallman.
Man, I still can't believe they signed Mike Davis. They signed Mike Davis, and then you're like, you know what? We paid this man all this money. Like, we're going to use a career kick returner and a free agent that we got off of the 49ers after they cut him. They saw, not only that, there's 2 more years left on this deal. Now, I think they cut him after this offseason because obviously, but bro, his cap hit this year is $6.4 million. His cap hit next year is $9.4 million. You thought Melvin Gordon's $8 million was tough. This dude's making $10 million a year.
God damn.
He's got carries after their starting kick returner, punt returner, running back, wide receiver, tight end,
quarterback, Cordell Patterson.
And he can pass.
That is nuts, though. That is really nuts. They really wasted a lot of money. I feel as though the signing was bad to begin with if they weren't going to use him how Todd Gurley was used, to be honest. I mean, Todd Gurley was used perfectly. He's a red zone guy, got the touchdowns. He's fantasy relevant. Us fantasy guys were happy about it. But, yeah, no. They tried to go in a different direction, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. So are you willing to start Gage or Olamide?
Like I said, I mean, if Pitts is going to be, taken out of the game, I feel as though you got to throw it up with Sharp or Gage, but I'm going to most likely engage because he can stretch the field. He's like that big playability guy. And I feel like, if you're going to gamble it this week and you're in a tight spot, why not start Russell Gage?
Hey, worth a flyer.
That's the one we're going to clip right there.
Boom. Yeah. Hey, I absolutely will clip that and throw it on the internet if he.
That's the one we're going to clip.
We're good for one really good prediction every week.
Let's we're like what? I'm gonna say we're 2 for 2. Let's do 3 for 3.
All right, let's do it because we predicted the Nyheim Hines game and then we predicted the Cowboys smoking and CMC last week. Russell Gage, it's your time to shine, baby. Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, so. I know you're going to talk about your boy Jacoby Myers, but where do you rank these New England wide receivers, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers? If you had to rank them 1, 2, 3, how do you feel about them?
Kendrick Bourne, man, I feel like it's hard not to put him 1, but Myers has the upside with the volume. So it's kind of like you're going to deal with the guy that's already found the end zone a couple times, not more than once, or, you go with the PPR upside with Myers. I'm going to just go Kendrick Bourne, Myers, and then Nelson Aguilar. I feel weird about it.
Oh, you're just going to abandon your dude like that?
Kind of, because I feel as though Kendrick Bourne, he has the touchdown upside. He's a big play guy, and I feel like, Myers, we've been rooting for 10 weeks for him to get in the end zone. He finally gets in it. I feel like this might be the first and last touchdown this season, but I'm going to root for my guy.
I'm going to change it up. I'm going Myers, Bourne, Aguilar. I think Myers broke the seal. I think he's going to be a touchdown machine now.
We'll see. If he scores twice this week, I'm going to lose it.
I will go bananas.
I'm going to go live, just me screaming to the top of my lungs.
So this goes right into the mailbag. But it is a Thursday night football question. So it's a great transition for us. There was a beautiful, beautiful question. I do not know who proposed it to us, but I appreciate you. And we appreciate all the questions. It really, really does help out the show.
Twitterverse.
Yeah. Shout out the internet, but Henry or Pitts PPR. Henry's got the touchdowns. Pitts has the yards. What are we feeling?
So I feel I'm going to just get it right out of the way. I feel Hunter Henry is the better option because we spoke on, Bill Belichick taking out Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts has the volume, but he's not the guy that's going to find the end zone. So easily Hunter Henry can find the end zone once or twice today and already have 10, 12, 16 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like
he only
Kyle
gets
Pitts,
like 20 yards a week, which is insane.
exactly.
And he's a top
Yeah.
10 tight end.
Yeah, it's nuts. So I feel as though Kyle Pitts, yeah, he has the volume. He could easily have 7 targets, or maybe 9 targets, 7 catches, and only like 45 yards.
Dude,
So
I was literally going to say 7 for 46. You stole it out of my mouth, bro. That's a Kyle Pitts stat line. Love it.
yeah,
But I'm in the same boat. I would start Henry. I don't love either matchup, to be quite honest. I just feel like Henry's touchdown luck has to run out eventually, but hey, what do I know? I'm not the coach.
James Conner is breaking that rule.
Bro, James, I have a league where I was ridiculed for my James Conner pick, and I am just stunting on these hoes.
Like,
it's beautiful.
I wasn't like a huge fan. Like, I wasn't tooting my horn for him, but I already knew like he would be like the red zone guy. So I feel like, yeah, the touchdown upside's there. But like Chase, I felt like his price was a little too high for me.
Edmonds had never shown the ability to be the red zone goal line guy, and like that's why they brought in Conner. So
I love it. That was my reasoning. So,
and yeah. Speaking of James Conner, man, our transitions today have just been on point.
Like that?
Bro, you're doing it on purpose. It's ridiculous. We have James Conner versus Seattle, or Michael Carter versus Miami.
So this question comes from my boy from home in my home league, Dave Weaver. Shout out to you. I hope you're watching.
Is he playing you this week?
Hell no. I would not give him advice. Hell no. But so I told him, James Conner, def taxes, James Conner touchdowns. I feel as though, again, with the division game, we had to throw out previous stats, previous whatever. It's a different vibe. But man, it's hard to sit him over a Michael Carter, and it's hard to sit Michael Carter for James Conner. So you're in a good situation. So honestly, what I told him, it's like a toss-up, really, because they both have great matchups. I feel as though James Conner is going to find the end zone, so you're getting saved by those touchdowns. Carter, he gets the PPR upside out of the backfield. So honestly, I'm going to go with my gut on this, and Michael Carter is the guy that I'm probably going to start.
So my opinion on this play depends on Kyler Murray. I feel a lot better about James Conner if Kyler Murray is playing, for 2 reasons. One, if Kyler Murray is nursing an injury, I think he's less likely to take it in himself, which is better for James Conner. Absolutely. And I think that offense is just going to be more prolific with Kyler Murray at the helm. So I would pick Conner if Murray starts, but I would pick Carter otherwise. Again, both of these guys I think are good plays this week.
It's a good situation to have.
Yeah, good problem to have. So speaking of problems, Hawkinson throwing up a goose egg last week. Problem, bro. In what might have been the Lions' best game of the year, tying the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a Bengals fan, the joy that gave me was incredible.
That's petty.
Oh, but I had, and the best part was I was sitting next to a Steelers fan the whole game, and it was great.
God.
Just watching.
You're struggling against the worst team in it.
Oh, yeah. And I got to talk all my shit because the Bengals were on a bye and they couldn't lose.
Yeah.
But the question we got is TJ Hawkinson versus Tyler Conklin. What are we thinking here?
It's a nasty situation, man. It's a real nasty situation. That goose egg gives you PTSD. I'm going to go with Tyler Conklin. I'm going to sit TJ Hawk this week. I'm going to sit TJ Hawk this week, figure out what they're going to do. They're already having issues with, Jared Goff being day-to-day.
Yeah. So I don't know, it looks like Tim Boyle is going to start, which I don't know who Tim Boyle is, but wow.
Sounds like a gym teacher, honestly.
Bro, that's a great gym teacher name. Oh, here's Mr. Boyle.
Mr. Boyle.
He gets way too uncomfortably close to you, like while you're stretching.
And coffee on his breath.
Yeah. Why is it always the gym teachers, man? So a beautiful super flex question for us. We got Cam or Baker. This has to be as one-sided as I think it is, right?
Cam.
Oh, not even close. Not even close.
Cam. I'm almost dropping Baker in one league. I'm almost dropping him, but there's nobody else on the waiver to pick up, obviously.
That's the thing, right? Like super flex, you almost have to start a quarterback.
Stuck with him. Because I went Baker, Matt Ryan. No. What league is that? No, I went Baker and Derek Carr.
Yeah. And Like they're playing the Lions too, so they're just going to run the shit out of the football.
Yep.
Like, oh man, talk about a hurt Baker Mayfield against Tim Boyle, a matchup for the ages.
This is the best game ever.
Don't say that. I had to watch a 6-9 Bills-Jags game. So
holy shit, I forgot that even.
Let's not talk about worst game.
Let's not bring that back up. Actually,
I hope that the Bills like make it to the Super Bowl or whatever. Love that. Like the Bills Mafia fan base, really awesome. But we're gonna look back on their season and be like, they lost to the Steelers week 1 and then to the Jags. Like what the hell? Like insanity.
Disgusting. Ugh.
But all right, last mailbag question here. Jacoby Myers, Jarvis Landry, PPR. I'm going Myers.
I might go Myers. I like it. Jarvis has been getting beat up lately. He's been hurt. He's still producing targets and he's still getting catches, but
I just don't like the touchdown upside there. I mean, how many? That is something that I am now immediately looking up. Jarvis Landry touchdowns.
I think 0. It has to be
0. Does he really not have a touchdown this year?
No way. If he does, I missed it.
No, you were right.
None. Yeah,
bro. How is this even a question? What are we doing?
Yeah, he has none.
He has 23 for 219 and no touchdowns. What?
It is what it is. That Nick Chubb.
What are we doing? I understand. Like he had 10 targets, like for 5 catches, 65 yards against the Steelers. Like woo, like the Bengals, 5 targets, 3 catches, 11 yards against the Patriots. 4 catches,
you have 11 yards on 5 targets and 3 catches.
Yeah, what, dude? I'm out.
What the fuck?
What are we doing? Get him off the roster.
Yeah, Myers.
Myers by a long shot. All right. I'm glad we can end the show on some agreement. Feels good to
we were on positive vibes this week. I don't know how it happened. The stars aligned, but we'll send it. I'm not gonna ask questions.
Nope. No, sir. Not on our end anyway. All right. So I feel like we had a good show, OQ. I feel like
we had a great show. Every show. Hopefully we hit on our bold picks because that would be a great victory lap, honestly.
3-4 weeks in a row now?
Yeah. Man, we have to have people tuned in. I'm glad
we might be good at this.
We might be good at this. This might be something we could do in the future.
I know, right? People should pay us.
Yeah, right?
I am open. Pay me.
Yes. I think my check is going to say about $120,000 a year. Yeah. That's a good.
All right, pal. Hey, you love it. Cash me in on that if you get it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, man. The Fantasy Heat Check will be back not next week. It's Thanksgiving next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna take the week off. We're gonna enjoy some family time. Yeah.
We'll figure something out for you guys.
Yeah. I'll probably be wasted. I'm probably gonna call out of work for Friday right now. Actually, if I think about it, yeah, probably gonna most likely do that. So
bro, does your boy Musk have Black Friday sales on Teslas?
No, he does not. He's a bastard for that.
Shame.
But yeah. So I just said I'm gonna call out next Friday on live. Yeah,
your boss has been sitting here.
I'm pretty sure my boss is probably watching.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Bro, if you lose him, if he loses this week in fantasy, there's no way you can go into work. He's gonna be in a tough spot. Oh man, we better get out of here before we make too many people angry.
Yeah, before I get in trouble. So yeah, we're gonna head out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back sometime in 2 weeks. Peace.